Hey, Internet. Whoa, there's my finger, but I don't care. It's my finger again. Bear with me. I'm setting up my iPod, holding it on my bookcase, because I don't want to fucking go in the basement. Here with another vlog. Sadly, at least to me, we've lost another celebrity, today. Axl Rotten. Someone that I actually grew up watching, caring about. Anybody knows me knows I'm a big pro wrestling fan. And not just WWE, I also grew up watching, ECW, the hardcore stuff. And, the death matches, the blood and guts, yada yada yada. And Axl Rotten was probably one of the most prominent wrestlers when it came to that type of, wrestling, that style. And it's just a sad situation. Axl in general. He had his demons like a lot of wrestlers do, the drugs, the alcohol abuse, all that stuff. But Axl was also, in his later years, before he just passed away just today, he was found in his hotel room, sadly. I think as of when I'm filming this, roughly 12 to 13 hours ago today. But, Axl recently, well, here, I'll just get started. I grew up watching WWF, which is now WWE, and grew up watching it in the mid to late 80s, and I didn't get introduced to ECW until, which is Extreme Championship Wrestling. I didn't get introduced to ECW until probably right before I graduated, which was like about 1999. And the first time I saw Axl Rotten was the Born to Be Wired wrestling card. And it was Axl Rotten teaming up with his frequent tag team partner, Balls Mahoney, and Hack Myers, who, again, recently passed away within the last few months. And they're taking on the Dudley Boys. And it was just brutal chair shots, and a lot of hard-hitting stuff. But eventually, I went to check out Axl Rotten's wrestling history, and this man has started out with barbed wire matches, barbed wire baseball bats, chair shots. There's a match he did with his wrestling brother Ian Rotten called a Taipei deathmatch. And what they did in the Taipei deathmatch is they wrapped electric tape or wrestling tape, athletic tape, around their hands. And I think they wrapped it, backwards, obviously, so they have the sticky side out. And what they would do is they put their hands in broken glass, just like the movie Kickboxer, the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, and they would just tear each other apart. And eventually they did a second one at Hardcore Homecoming, which was, like a reunion show after ECW had folded. And Axl was always a favorite of mine. And he was also a story of inspiration because, like I mentioned, he had his personal demons with his drug use. I know he was a big heroin addict. I think he did cocaine and booze and what have you. This isn't, throwing him under the bus for his personal problems. I mean, who were we to fucking judge? No one knows what was going through his head at the time when he did this. But eventually, just recently, within the last couple of years, I've been following him on Facebook. I've been following him on YouTube. And he had been confined to a wheelchair due to a lot of the, injuries that he had sustained over the years. I think he had a severe herniated disc, and he had been stuck in a rehab center for probably over a year. And eventually he got to walk on his own, due to physical therapy, what have you. But this is a man who the doctor said he'd never walk again. He fucking proved him wrong. So, good story of, determination and inspiration. And then sadly, now he's gone. And we don't know, it's not been released why or how he has passed away. A lot of people are sadly saying drug abuse because he was found in Baltimore, in a hotel in the seedy side of Baltimore, where a lot of the drug use and all that shit happens. And I believe I read he released a cryptic tweet saying that he only does things his way. So a lot of people are pushing towards suicide. Can't confirm it. I don't know if that's what it is. If that's his way out, I'm not one to judge. I just hope he's not in any more pain. But watching Axl Rotten and seeing the man who he was, starting from WCW, World Championship Wrestling, Axl Rotten was a mixture. He got his name, I believe, from a mixture of Axl Foley and Johnny Rotten. And he started out as like a British dude, complete with a fake, shitty British accent. And then he eventually just went to ECW and made a name for himself in, like I said, the blood and guts stuff. But he was also always there for his fans, which I thought was cool. From what I've read, I've never met the dude. From what I've read, he would always stop and what he was doing to sign an autograph, take a picture. He always talked about in his promos how much he loved the fans. Made you believe it. And that was also what was good about Axl is he was a good promo man. And you felt that he was telling the truth. When he said he was going to kick this motherfucker's ass, you knew he was going to kick this motherfucker's ass. But there was also times when he wasn't being, intimidating. Also, he did it in a very funny way. I couldn't tell you how many times I've laughed during an Axl Rotten promo. I've seen 2 Axl Rotten shoot interviews. And what a shoot interview is, a wrestler out of character tells their stories of like the behind the scenes stuff and what have you. And I've seen his very first shoot interview from RF Video, and that man had me fucking laughing the entire, I think, 2.5 hour to 3 hour shoot interview. From his opening line, like Feinstein asked Axl, "How did you get in the business?" And with just being a joke, he said, "I was like so and so, I couldn't think, and I fucked all the boys to get in to a top spot." I mean, that just shows how he's there to make you laugh, there to make you have a good time. So yeah, it's just very sad that I've personally lost another celebrity I grew up watching him. I don't know, you people out there in internet land and YouTube, how many of you who actually watch my vlogs, or my videos in general, the 3 of you out there who know who Axl Rotten is. I just watched a good tribute video to him that's a couple years old. It was just posted on Facebook before he died, or after he died, but it was made before he died. I'm going to post a link down in the comment section or in the info section, and it shows him wrestling his brother Ian, shows him wrestling his, I guess former tag team partner at the time, Balls Mahoney. Axl Rotten, you're going to be missed, buddy. Hope you're at peace now. Addiction, if that's what it was, it's a tough thing to beat. Hope you're at peace. You're out of pain, that's for sure. Whatever the pain you were dealing with was. But, yeah, that's me saying, we've lost another one, and I really hope this stops, because this is, the beginning of fucking February, and, yeah, so, I'm not a Christian, I'm not a religious person, but Godspeed, Axl Rotten. Take care.